Okay, I think that's enough. Let's go ahead and try to texture this. So this is the kind of canyon that we'll go with for now. And I'm just going to go ahead and try and add some texturing to this. So let's go ahead and click the texture tab or the materials tab. And I'm going to start off with something that's a pretty much a brown sandy color. Yeah, so the ability to select the area to raise or lower is much better feature than the way World Creator 2 does it. That is absolutely correct. It's just way more intuitive here. It's, you know, quickly being able just to do those sculpts, and then the great part is that it's all procedural. You know, you do those sculpts real quick and everything just moves the way you would expect it to, which is really nice. All right, so we're going to use this as our, let's change this to be vertical. Here we go. So we're going to use this color as our base color. Let's add another material. I apologize for the brightness. Let's darken it up some. Now this color, let's select this color to distribute, let's say cavity, but convex. And the step size to be super small. Super small. That's, we can desaturate it some. Of course, the light is having a big effect on this too. So the angle of the light changes the color a lot, which is one reason you can see there. Yeah, so one reason why it'd be really great to have a dev version or a dev color palette for this is to be able to see the colors without the rendering and sun and shadows having an effect on the color, because the color can be drastically changed based on the direction that you're viewing it at, which is one of the big things that's hard to texture right now. Or really in World Creator 2, it's hard to do that too. You're not really sure what the color of the texture is going to be until you export it for some other application. If you're just, you know, trying to be pure color. So let's add, this is rocks. We desaturated the rocks. Let's add another color for broader rocks. So something that is dark. Maybe it's on the, maybe it's on the red side. Whoops, didn't mean to add that. Let's also do cavity and convex, but let's change its size to something a little wider. Trying to get it sort of close to the first color in a way. So darker, lighter, and then this one can be ever so slightly darker. So you see how subtle that was between these two. There's the small, tiny rocks. There's the larger shape of that rock outside. All right, so I think let's add some green to the top. Maybe not that kind of, maybe not that much green. Let's add it more of a burnt. A lot of trial and error, so maybe all right, and this one we will also put under there. But this one, let's do it based off slope and make the slope super short. Let's see. So the slope is really not helping us here, is it? Oh, okay, I see what it's doing. I'm also going to make this only appear. Let's do this. Let's make the slope only appear from the bottom. So if we were to drop the height under the slope, we can multiply the effect. And let's make sure that it's only affecting below. So the bottom portion here. Oop, a little too high. We need to get some more done with height selection. All right, so this lighting is really changing the way that you see it, that's for sure. And let's try to go with that for now. All right, go back to the biome and we could do this color. Whoops, I hit it just a bit too much. And let's try to perhaps darken it up a little bit and make it not so smooth for the slope. Make the slope pretty sharp. There we go. That works better. All right, so then let's do another rough green. Maybe it's a really rough green, like a yellow type. At the top. So we'll do this one as height first. Aha, there we go. So we got it only at the height. And then let's distribute it based again. See about adding some purling noise. Don't think I like that. Maybe we can add a small flow. Nope. Perhaps a simple flow. Nope. Or let's see, where is this? Just straight flow at the top. There we go. Let's put it there. That's what I wanted. So we used height. We've set the height to only be what's above. So if we were to turn this off, let's edit the height to be just ever so slightly right there. I don't want it to be. Let's see what adding just basic flow to this does. All right, so if we were to increase the flow, All right, so the flow did increase. It's very subtle. It just goes through here. But it's just a little bit of green at the very top. I think for this, I'm going to change the cavity. Maybe the strength is... I don't know. Do you guys like it really vibrant like this? Or perhaps more subtle like this? I'm also, while we're deciding that, going to add another brown for the top portion. Something that looks... something with... Ooh, I got it. Maybe we can add another flow just to that. Let's add it under the green. Perhaps over that green. Let's do another height. Let's remove this flow, do this height up here at the top. I want that just to be at the top. So, like that. And then maybe we can have this to be a simple flow or a small flow. Subtle. Yeah, I think subtle worked a bit better. This color doesn't jive well with maybe... Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's add another form and call this one another slope. So let's just... incrementally add slope. Maybe it's part of it. Oh, actually, let's try this. Let's try min, max, subtract. That's interesting. Add and multiply. I think we'll do multiply, but I think almost wonder if this color is just a bit too... Obviously, texturing could take a while trying to get it just right. Okay, so let's actually now just decrease this and feather it out just a tab. And then lower it a tad, and perhaps this color we can... Oh, that is the wrong color. Color's the grass up top. Aha, here we go. That's interesting. Okay, so I think not sure this color is really going to jive. It is, but it's almost like I need to change the color of it just slightly. Ever so slightly. Maybe we could do that actually. Let's go back to this. That color. Well, that's not that bad. Slope. How much does it affect? Okay. This is where we need to be right there. Okay. So now that should probably be in between. Let's do that. We got a weird landscape going on here, but we're just we're just having fun. That's one thing with the, I think this is affecting it too. Okay, so now let's try to do one more thing, running a bit longer than intended. So actually, let's see, just for fun, where water comes up. We are entirely underwater. And do this on 10. 10 does that. And 9. So that's not bad. But I think, let's go back to our cutoff. Kind of almost looks nice without the cutoff, to be honest. Let's take the high cutoff. Let's sort of add more back to the high cutoff. And this lower cutoff, if we were to bring it up a little bit, we can kind of get a little bit more water where we want it. It's not beautiful, but it's not terrible. All right, let's do one more balloon filter. And just broaden some of these effects out even more. Interesting. Okay. That seems doable. And maybe this guy here, all this can lower some. And for the color of the water, let's actually change it to be a little darker. Don't want it clear at all, but I did want the water to kind of justify some of the colors a little bit. Let's see what all these things are doing. That's interesting. Let's take the sediment complex and reduce its strength down a little bit. This is one thing that I really like about this program more so than World Creator 2 is you can quickly change some of these things real quick. Hey, Magnus. It's not out yet to everyone. It's just still in alpha phase, but hopefully there's going to be an updated version for the alpha users next week, and hopefully within a couple weeks after that, into December, we'll have an update, a beta version of the program for everybody else. So that's something that I'm really hoping happens. So I'd love to get this into the hands of everyone else. So that way, when we do these live streams every Wednesday, you can participate and we can work on this together, which would be really fun. I think actually now that I'm looking at this, let's set max. I don't think that's what I wanted to do. Align, that's what I wanted to do. So set, align, and then we'll color in some of this block here because this area is just too pointy. %, matches the height. There we go. Well, it's only open for certain alpha users, even people who are registered for World Creator 2 who will get this in a few weeks. Not everyone has access to it. So it's a closed alpha test, so to speak. There we go. This is looking more like yeah, that shape there was just way too sharp. Whoop, wrong one. Let's increase this some. There we go. So what I'm doing is here, this edit mode align lets me, since I have this selected, wherever my cursor is, and I press shift, the remainder of this terrain is going to align to the height value of that point based on this percentage. So I'm just moving it so that it's not super the same because I still want the water to have some kind of creek here. And then maybe we can cut down into the terrain right here. and further cut. And further cut. So a nice little cut there. Will there be a brush tool to easily sculpt the terrain? For example, a slope to create. Sloped hill. Did that make sense? Yeah, I get what you're saying. So they're it's not here yet, but in the custom base shape as well as an entire painting browser, so to speak, there's going to be that sort of functionality. So you can easily sculpt the terrain with a brush tool once that's added later on, which it will be added at a later date. I don't know exactly when they plan to have that implementation, but I do know it's in the works to do. All right, so there is one other thing that let's try adding wherever it's at, terrace. Let's try adding that up here at the top. So and strength multiplier. Come on, you can do it. I don't know exactly where. All right, so no terrace. And a slight terrace effect. I really want. All right, let's do this. It could be nice to have some type of shelf right here. So all through here, including this. Oh, shoot. Edit mode, align. And then I have to redo that. Shoot. All right, so now let's try and add a shelf that's about right here. So let's not do that, but do this. Just lower this. Maybe. Got a lot of filters going on here, so this is one thing that would be really nice to sculpt. Here we go. This is working out better than more like what I wanted. There we go. Maybe if I would have subdivided the terrain even more, we could have gotten more control here. There we go. So up from above, looks like this so far. And from down the side, it kind of looks like this. I think the grid simulation strength should come down now that I'm thinking about it. Come down 50%. Yeah, there we go. That's looking better. What do you, this is pretty rough. What do you guys think so far? Just fiddling around trying to get the idea. The next stream I'm actually going to do something similar, but I was thinking of doing an Arctic shelf, a glacier shelf. I have a format to kind of do a glacier as well as an iceberg shelf that transitions into the super flat Arctic, to show how to create ice in this. And you can do ice in World Creator 2 as well, but it's not quite as nice, so to speak. All right, so now let's see, what can we do? We just got a few minutes left in the stream. We've actually been going for a little over an hour and a half. That was my ideal cap, but we had some questions come in that were really nice. Actually, let me remove these darker bits under the water. So which one was that? I think it was that one. Big difference there, huh? So let's also add a height distribution and set it all the way down. And let's incrementally increase this till we see that particular texture removed about where the water is. All right, it's starting to remove itself. All right, I think that's actually pretty good. You see now, if I were to increase this, decrease this a tab, we can see the rocks coming back here. But they've kind of removed themselves under the water, so that's nice. As well as, let's see the water here. If I were to right through here, let's increase this a tad, just so that we can get more green in there. Awesome. Another thing that's going to help is sedimentation. So maybe we increase the strength of the sedimentation. A little too much, a little too much, a little too much. Uh-oh. That could have been bad. All right, so let's increase this a bit till our river starts to smooth out. Okay, now let's go back and fill in these areas. So let's drop it through here till the water comes back. Let's drop it through here till the water comes back. There's going to be a river function. So obviously, all of this I'm trying to get level to showcase the water there. But it's going to be a river. So say if you want this point of the river to be lower or higher than this point of the river and still show the actual river formations. So they're going to be doing that. They're going to be having a whole new river tool, I believe, and spline tool to do that kind of stuff. Wasn't quite so easy in World Creator 2. Wasn't as nice to implement. There we go. That's better. But that will be something that's going to be in this particular version. All right, so let's try and get a decent shot here. All right, so let's play with our sun. Atmosphere. Just trying to find a good, decent angle. Maybe we can just look at it straight on as best as possible. All right. So we can feather out or not feather out the sun size. That's this one. So sun smoothness, feathers and defeathers the edge. Sun strength is way too bright. And let's see, clouds too. Clouds are cool, but I think they're not gonna work out in our favor here. There we go. Let's turn this down just a tad. Horizontal angle. All right, I think we could just turn off the sky altogether and do a really warm looking. That's not bad, actually, if you think about it. With and without water. Could make the water more. Let's see. That's not bad, because then it shows there's some sort of substance to the water and depth. That's not bad. All right, so let's actually, so I don't forget, I'm just gonna take a quick little snapshot of this piece. Save it right there for right now. Okay, so I think that is about going to do it today. This was a fun terrain to model for you guys, just playing around. I think the next one that we're going to do, like I said, is the Arctic shelf idea, cliffside there, to get some comparison and contrasting formations. There's going to be a lot of good updates coming to this again next week, and hopefully the beta version a few weeks after. So if you guys want, I'll leave the floor open for a few more minutes if you have any questions about what we've done today, because we've done more than I've actually thought we were going to do. But so yeah, this has been pretty fun to do for you guys. Maybe let me try and save it if it'll let me save it. So we can save it, and if once you guys get World Creator 3, then you can have this.